Okay, let's get into some fun stuff here because we got football.
We got a little bit of football.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of football.
I said this earlier, teasing that the two teams that I am most closely affiliated with, I think are vastly undervalued. I think it's turning a little bit.
Are we NFL or college?
NFL. We'll start with NFL.
Okay.
That for some reason, the Philadelphia Eagles, now I know they're a couple years removed from a Super Bowl,
Right.
are looked at by most experts to be the favorite in the NFC East.
Yeah, I think it's them and the Cowboys right now, and I think a lot of it is more than what Philadelphia did getting healthier. I mean, granted, Carson Wentz being back and bringing on Howard and Miles Sanders from Penn State, and their offensive line is better. Who's the big guy they got from Washington State? They drafted the big offensive tackle.
Yeah, I can't remember.
The Texans were going to take him. They stole him. So they've solidified their offensive line. Their defense has been good. And they're going to be right there in the hunt. You know, I think them and the Cowboys are right there.
You know, we have a tendency sometimes to look back as to where teams, how far they make it in the playoffs, what they do the year before, and say, well, you know, and kind of apply that. Well, I feel like there's a lot of times we lose a lot of objectivity in doing that. Because did Philadelphia beat Chicago in that game? Absolutely. You know, I'm not saying that they were screwed and all that, but in my mind, I can make an argument. The Bears won that game. Okay?
Right.
So when you look at it, well, the Eagles made it farther than the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Right.
And then you look at it that way, Nick Foles not being there anymore. With the way, the talent that the Dallas Cowboys have, look at where they came from defensively last year.
Right.
Unbelievable. You have Amari Cooper now for a full season. Now, look, we got the whole thing with Zeke going on right now and maybe holding out for camp and all that, and the contract deal, and we're talking about Dak as well. And with the three guys I just mentioned, that is a little bit up in the air. But the offensive line is back healthier with Travis Frederick back.
Bigger, stronger, healthier.
I'm wondering, I think Peter King had the Cowboys like 14th in the league. I go, my God. And so the Cowboys at plus 120 to win the division, money is on it.
See, I used to, when I would do prop bets, I've changed them a little bit, because when I would go to Vegas once a year with my guys, and we would all go to for opening weekend, NFL, and then you got college football already started. And what I used to do was I would just take C notes, and I would take a team to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
To win the whole thing. And I won it a few times. I did it with the Broncos when they won the Super Bowl, and it was 50-1, and I put $100 down, and I, you know, it was great. But as I've gone on, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? That's a dumb bet. I know prop bets are great, but I said, take him to win the NFC.
Yeah.
Take him to win the NFC. The odds might not be as great, but take him to win the NFC. And I always like double-digit odds or more. Because if you're 9-1, 8-1, I want to win money.
Yeah.
100. I mean, look, we're greedy, right? 100 times 6-1 is $600. Who gives a crap? I want 20-1 for $100.
Right.
Now you're talking a little bit, right?
Right.
And but this year, I was looking at the NFL, and I had done this on the radio show about a month ago, but I had redone it. I don't even think I need to look at my phone, because I wrote this down today. And what do you think would be the first team that a good prop bet? Now, again, the good prop bet has to be a team you think's got a chance to win it, or a team that you think's going to come out of left field.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
And that's the kind that I sometimes will sneak in there. So my first one that I just grabbed wasn't the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys are a prop bet of mine. Number one was the Colts.
Love it.
I just said, you know what? That division is cockamamie. I don't know what the Texans are doing, even though they're pretty good. I know Jacksonville just got Nick Foles, but you know what? Indianapolis with luck, and I like what they did. They have gotten
Mac, you know, that running back that they got.
And Himes is there, the young kid.
Well, they've gotten so much better. You know, they're only a few years removed from having what Arizona has now, like the worst offensive line, almost historically. They have done a tremendous amount of work beefing up that offensive line, which is, you know, really good now. And I think that if you do give Luck time and a running game, he's got to be one of the most difficult guys to beat.
Didn't they draft Paris Campbell from Ohio State, or am I wrong? Okay. That's all they need.
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah.
And then they get the kid Leonard, the rookie linebacker. So I think they're going to be fantastic. So I went Colts, Cowboys, and I had 3 other teams in the NFL. You want to?
Okay, and now we're going with, I'm assuming, ones that, like you're saying, a little bit off the beaten path to get in there because of the high.
I would say,
because you and I think along the same lines when it comes to that. Did I bet on the Bears? Obviously. Spoiler, the Bears are the other team that I'm saying, and I think, and I'll get to that in a moment.
And that's a good, I didn't have them, but that's one to consider. I would absolutely, if I had another C note sitting around, give me the Bears.
Absolutely, and they're at 15-1.
It's great
to win the Super Bowl. I got them at 9-1 to win the NFC, and from what I'm hearing a lot, and right before we got started, you said that you rewatched the Bears-Eagles playoff game.
I did.
And this question I heard so much over the last 2 months, just off-season, NFL radio talk, right? Is Mitchell Trubisky the guy? Can he win you a playoff game? And I'm like, whoa. And I know that I've mentioned it on this program.
Right.
Whoa. Mitchell Trubisky won you the playoff game.
Oh.
Cody Parkey missed the kick. Trubisky, in the fourth quarter, especially the end of the fourth quarter, you couldn't have asked him to do any more.
The back shoulder fade to Robinson.
Oh, my God.
I watched it last night. It was a 3rd and 11 or something.
Yeah.
It was such a perfect throw. And even, I guess it was Joe Buck, Al Michaels was doing the game. And he was like, oh, my God, you couldn't have put the ball any better.
No.
So he was terrific. I think he's going to be terrific. I think he already is terrific.
I'm not trying to say he's Mahomes.
No. But he's the right guy. He's the right guy for the Bears. And I like the Bears. I didn't have them, but Colts and Cowboys.
Okay, let me see if I can guess your other 2.
Okay, there's 3 other teams.
Okay, so
2 not surprising.
Okay.
1 shocking.
Okay, so I'll say the not surprising, the Rams.
No. Matter of fact, all 3 AFC.
No kidding.
All 3 AFC.
Okay, so the one, did you just toss in the Browns?
I know I took. Oh, absolutely.
I did. I mean, it was a flyer. I mean, I didn't put 100, but I was like, okay, just put it on there. Just whatever.
I just because it's going to be. They're going to be on TV.
They're going to be fun to watch. They're not. Yeah. They've got offensive line issues too. Okay. So we're talking in the AFC. I would have to say. By the way, the Browns. You want to know what the favorites are? The Patriots. So the Patriots won.
No.
Kansas City.
No.
Wow. Those are the 2 favorites to win the Super Bowl.
And not New England?
L.A., then New Orleans, and then Cleveland. Have we lost our collective minds?
Not yet, no.
They are the 5th favorite ahead of Philadelphia and Chicago, Indianapolis, Green Bay, Dallas, the Chargers.
No.
I am beyond stunned already now because I can't even think of a team at this point. If Deshaun Watson takes the next step with Houston because the defense is so good, and I think Hopkins is if he's not the best, he's right up there with the best of them.
Right. Okay. One of them, young quarterback, incredible athlete.
Baltimore?
Yes. And it's not what they did offensively, even though they added Ingram. It's what they brought in defensively with Earl Thomas, and then they drafted the other guy. And Baltimore always has good defense. I think, and again, we were going to get to the quarterbacks in a little bit. There's 3 or 4 quarterbacks that age is going to catch up to him. Is he going to get Breeze this year? I don't know. Is he going to get Brady this year? I don't know. Is he going to get Ben Roethlisberger this year? I don't know. Andy Dalton's already old. All right. But I just looked at Baltimore and I said, you know what? They could just kind of sneak their way through.
Yeah.
People beating up people. So Baltimore was that other one. But then there was the long shot in the AFC. And the reason I went with this long shot was because the team that's always been the winner, I think it might be that year where they hit that wall a little bit.
Oh, so is that a hint that it would be inside the AFC East?
It is in the AFC East.
Well, it certainly is not Miami.
It's not Miami.
And you think Josh Allen in Buffalo?
Yes. I just put money on them. I just said, you know what? If they can somehow sneak in and get into the wild card? Because a lot of teams are going to beat each other up.
Yeah.
It is the weakest division.
Not in the East, though.
But the weakest division is that division.
Yeah.
The Jets will be better.
Yeah.
Okay. Buffalo's going to be a lot better.
I expect a little bit more out of Sam Darnold with the Jets, too, but it still is the weakest. Man, I'll tell you, that's a surprise to me.
I know.
Because I tell you what, the Chargers roster is really good. You could really lump Phillip Rivers into that pack of quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, 19 kids. I mean, at what point?
Right. It's got to wear on you a little bit, man. I mean, either making them or just looking out for them. Right. Either way, you've got to be pretty exhausted. The AFC, to me, I mean, from a betting standpoint, it seems like it's a very weak but very money capable. Because as I mentioned, let me give you some of the numbers. That's why I brought it up. The Chargers,
they got to be under
20 to 1.
Oh, they're 20 to 1?
20 to 1.
That's pretty good.
To win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The Houston Texans are 35 to 1.
Okay.
Going down, Baltimore 35 to 1.
See, Benjamin on that, to me, it's worth it.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is one of my, hang my hat on moments as a broadcaster.
Right.
Because back even before J-Dub City, when it was Will and JJT on Saturdays, I said my dark horse to win the Heisman the year that he won it was Lamar Jackson. I was like, I've never seen anybody like that, and nobody had a clue who he was. It's one of the very few things I've gotten right. And then, you've got Jacksonville at 35 to 1, and that'll be interesting to see because of having Nick Foles over there. I think it's wide open. So if you put a little bit of money on all those, that, you could end up taking some out because, look, it ain't going to be the Browns. And it could very well be the Patriots, I know, at 5 to 1.
Yeah.
I think that, and I really thought that the Patriots last year, halfway through the season, I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen. And then, of course, it did happen. And so they continued to do it over and over again. So I don't know why anybody would think that.
I've learned not to doubt them, and that's my bad. I mean, every year I'm like, oh, please, come on, the Patriots. And look, Brady and Belichick. So I'm not going to doubt them. I just think that I know their schedule is going to be tougher this year. And Gronkowski's not there. And you could tell me he's got 19 running backs and, 37 wide receivers, and it's him and Belichick. And I'm sure they'll win their share of games. I just don't think they're getting there this year.
Yeah.
I
would be in that agreement, but a couple of other, I thought, notable ones. And this was... Because, again, I look at all this stuff like, I'm going to put a little money on that just in case.
Right.
I mean, if you ask me, who do I think is going to the Super Bowl? I mean, I'm pumped about my Bears, and I think they got just as good a shot of anybody. Incredibly talented on defense. On offense, they keep adding pieces. The running back that they got in, the third round this year, I think is going to absolutely shock the world.
Henderson,
I think Trubisky's going to be...
Yeah, Henderson.
I think Trubisky is going to be really good, and I want to put money on Mitch to win the MVP.
Okay.
Just because you could, your return could be good. The Bengals are they're at 22 to 1 just to win the division. I don't think a whole lot about the Bengals team, so to speak, but you still do have A.J. Green and some guys, and they got a new coach at 22 to 1, putting $10 on them,
It's that division
to win $200.
Yeah, that division's tough.
I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be as good.
I don't think they will either. But that's one of the reasons I like Baltimore. I know we all like Cleveland; it's the flavor of the month, and I think they're going to be much better.
Yeah,
but it's Cleveland.
Yeah, look,
and they could fall on their face or just have a disappointing season. Ben Roethlisberger goes backwards. Cincinnati can't figure out their name yet. And Lamar Jackson's sitting there going, boy, Mark Ingram's got 1,000 yards rushing. Earl Thomas has got 11 interceptions. And guess what? We just won the division.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and I got $100 on it.
I know. That's why I was like, well, no, when I'm looking at it, I was like, damn. I was like, just 22 to 1 to win just the division?
Just the division.
I was like, I don't really think much of the division. I think Cleveland could win it going 9-7. And who knows? This guy, Zach Taylor?
Oh, Zach Galifianakis?
I don't even know the guy's last name. He's a new head coach. But he's, the guy under McVay. So, just say if they caught some, big offensive, and they were just exploding offensively and they got to 9-7 too and had some tiebreaker. I don't know. $10 to me, worth it just for the 22 to 1.
No, that's what makes it fun.
That's it.